Empress. I'm Elliot Lawrence. This is Married Gums. I'm also known as Ambassador Junior Lion, who is a lead reggae artist right now from the island of St. Martin, better known as Swaliga. And we're not here to discuss music today, but we're going to be showcasing alkaline foods. The difference between alkaline foods and hybrid foods. Hybrid foods are foods that were genetically manufactured in labs, and alkaline foods are foods that were made by creation, which has the pH balance that is over 7, of 7 and up. So the difference between acid foods and alkaline food, that is what we're here to demonstrate to each and every one that is looking at this DVD right now. The inspiration came from the Honorable Dr. Sebi. You can check on his website, drsebi.com, and he will give you the whole insight of alkaline foods, hybrid foods, food that is nourishing, food that goes straight to the bloodstream. We have different minerals such as iron, copper, we have zinc, we have calcium. Is there any other mineral that we have we could add to the list?
There's 103 of them.
Sure, there's 102 to 3 minerals that you can find in earth, in water, wow, in fire, in wind. So we have to absorb it all. Our body is magnetical, bioelectric. We have a bioelectrical structure. So in other words, our body is electrical. We attract the minerals to our body. Iron is the highest mineral known in the mineral kingdom. So what we're here to lubricate and to demonstrate to you is alkaline foods. And before we get started, we're going to go into juicing, and then we're going to be showing you a bit here of the seasonings that we use. But before we go any further, I would like to introduce to you kelp. For those that doesn't know, kelp, it comes from the sea. So we don't eat seafood, but we don't eat the fish. But we eat what the fish eats. We have kelp. We also have turmeric root, and we also use a lot of cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is very good for those who are going on detox. You know, the juice and detox with cayenne pepper, lime, and maple syrup. We also use 100% cold pressed olive oil. Now, I have to say this, you do not, and I'm going to repeat again, you do not cook oil. It becomes toxic. So you want to use this raw over your food, and we use only organic sea salt. And for those, the dish liquid, it's organic. You can wash your dishes with it, and the water, you can take it and water your food that you nourish in your garden with. And as a farmer, I can tell you this, so I plant my own food. I know what it's about to be in the soil, reaping, toiling, producing, and taking food to the market. And it's very vital and important for us to eat right. So vitality, strength. Is there anything you want to add, Empress?
No, you just go.
Okay, so we're going to go into juicing right now. So for you, stay tuned, see what's coming up.
This one is dedicated to all of my Swaligan people, This is Ambassador Junior Lion. I tell my people.
Yes, welcome back to Tranquility Roots and Wellness. We're here again to demonstrate to you juicing. For those who want to go on juice fasting, juice detox, juice cleansing, here we go. I'm going to start off with simple basic vegetables and fruit that you can combine together and make yourself a nutritious drink. Here we have cucumbers, we have green pepper, and we also have Granny Smith apples. And I know you people love Granny Smith apples for pies, right? So here we go. We're going to be using this blend, this combination. The apple is going to serve as a natural sweetener, so we don't need any sugars or anything. We have natural sweetener right here. So Empress Isis is going to help me with the juicing. So are you ready for juicing? Here we go. Alright. So first we're going to start off with starting up the juicer, and then we're just going to get straight into work. Alright, so bear some patience with us. Here we go. Now remember, I was telling you that for those who want to go on detoxes, fasting, cleansings, this is what we're going to do. We already juiced the cucumber, we already juiced the Granny Smith apple, and also the green pepper. Remember that the sweetener is going to come from the apple, so it's going to be well balanced. It's all green, it's all nutritious, it's all alkaline. And you want to add a little touch of cayenne pepper to your drink too, to also cleanse the lungs, cleanse the colon, strengthen the immune system. So I'm going to have some of my audience have a taste, because here we have some nice cup of green juice. So here we go. I'm going to have a nice sip. Empress Isis, how you feeling? It's got to be great. So there we go. making sure everything, the prana is well stirred, everything is good, which is live. Here we have a presentation of some natural organic green juice, and I'm going to call in fellow brethren Caliph and Empress Queen to come through and have a taste and give us your vibes on how it is, how it tastes, you know. Let the people know. Empress Isis and I are going to have some too. Just a sip, just a tasting. Here you go.
Very good.
So what we say, to good health?
To good health.
To good health. And there we go, first segment of the juicing. Stay tuned, we'll be right back while we have a good sip of this, alright?
Yes, this is Kamua Kamal Haru, member of the Urban Shamans. Our mission is to uplift all of humanity through word, sound, and power. We aim to usher in systems of science, art, and health for public healing. Yes, World War IV, Urban Shamans, y'all. Peace.
Yes, greetings. Welcome to Tranquility Roots and Culture Wellness Center. I have my host here with me, Marie Gums, and I'm Elliot Lawrence. Wow, we're having such a
Empress Isis.
an ambassador Junior Lion, who I almost forgot. But we're having quite of an adventure here with food, and you know, with basic knowledge, we're here to present you so many different packages. Now, what we have here today on our segment, we have products that you can bake with, organic grains and the original grains that are non-hybrid. Right here, I would like to present to my people, my audience, what we have right here. We have kamut grains, which can be also consumed as a rice. It's the organic grain that resembles wheat, but it's not wheat, it's kamut. It's one of the most ancient grains known to man, like one of the first mother grains that you could ever think about.
We call it the great-grandfather grain.
So you know what that means. It's very ancient.
The great-grandfather grain.
Yeah. We also have here, what do we have here?
Amaranth.
We have amaranth. And for those who don't know amaranth, amaranth is also the seed of the callaloo. And the Jamaicans know what I'm talking about when we say callaloo, right? We love it, callaloo and dumpling done. Well, alright, we have amaranth seed, which is the callaloo, which is a very sacred food. It also means the food of the gods. This is it right here. It's one of the original grains of Africa. You can find it also over here in the West Coast. And I would like to present to you the wild rice from Kemet, which is known as Egypt. This is one of the very first rice ever known to man that is planted by the River Nile and also by the Mississippi River over here in America. This is very ionizing, you know, it's very, very, very good. It's a seed, you can plant it. It comes in its shell, it's the original black rice, you know, and it's non-hybrid. None of these grains are hybrid.
And talking about that, they say it's wild rice. Now we have to look for the wild rice, because now they're hybridizing wild rice.
Yeah.
So you have to look for the rice what is grown in Mississippi and it's wild. You have to look for the wild rice, and it's not cultivated.
Right. We also have with us here on our presentation, we have quinoa grain. Now quinoa is my favorite grain. This is one of my favorite grains. I can eat this every day. You know, you have to cook quinoa for me every day, right? Quinoa grain, wow. There's a history behind quinoa. I mean, who plants this?
The Incas.
The Incas. Wow. So we're going into some ancient science and history right here. Now, quinoa, it's pronounced quinoa, but it is written Q-U-I-N-O-A. Quinoa. Some of us will call it quinoa, but it's pronounced quinoa. Wow, it's very good grain.
You cook it just like rice.
Yes.
If you want to cook it, just like rice. 2 cups of water to 1 cup of quinoa.
Right. Would you like to give them an explanation how you cook these grains as well too? It would be nice if they get an insight of how we do the wild rice, how we do the amaranth, and how we do the amaranth.
The wild rice, you part your rice first, and it requires a little bit more water. And all the grains, you can have them raw. You have to soak them, and that's a different process. I think quinoa is like 2 days soaking, wild rice is like 9 days. But you'll have to go more into the research on the raw foods. There's books about them, and you can do your research on wild foods.
And I would like to also remind you about drsebi.com. He's our mentor, inspiration for doing what we're doing, what we're trying to share with you. And there's a whole lot more others out there that knows in depth of what is going on, but we're just giving you the basic information right now. What I have here, I have rye flour here on the right side of the bowl here, and what I have on the left side here, which is onto my right here, is the spelt grain, spelt flour, which is the original grains that we use to bake this bread right here. We have the spelt and rye bread right here with a little touch of fennel seeds in it. And if you notice, we don't have any whole wheat or any wheat. Wheat is a hybrid. Wheat is not the original organic food. Wheat is a hybrid. It was genetically modified. So we don't use wheat in our life. So what we're presenting you is just a few of the original grains that you can find. Now you have to be very diligent when you're looking for these grains, because they are now starting to hybridize these foods. So we have to be very cautious, be very careful when we're looking for our foods. Make sure that they are not GMO and they are not modified in labs. So here we go as a good start. So now what we're going to be demonstrating today is a raw pizza. Okay, we're not going to be using any animal products in it. It's strictly organic, and basic herbs that we are going to be using for the pizza are right here on the plate. And also we have the bread that I just introduced to you. What else do you have you would like to present to the people that's going to be for the pizza?
Well, actually I would like you to make the dough first, and
Sure.
then I'll show them the rest of the stuff.
Okay, sure. So I'm going to get started with that. Now here I go. I just used, I can say, about 3/4 of a cup of each of the rye and the spelt. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to add, I'm going to just mix it in together. So I'm going to need a spoon. Okay, here we are. So here we are. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just mix it together. This is just a simple demonstration, just to make sure that you see. Now you can see the different textures of flour blending in together here as I stir it around. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a touch of sea salt. Again, here we go with the basic minerals. There we go. And then instead of butter or animal fat, I'm going to use cold pressed virgin olive oil as my to mix in my flour.
And if you don't have the oil, you don't have to use the oil, because when I do it, I don't use oil.
I use about 3 covers here. There I go. I like to use the oil. That's a nice substitute. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stir. Just going to mix it in, just like this. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to experience something great today. So who say you can't have pizza? We're going to have pizza, and we're going to be loving it. It's going to be tasting very nice. So here we go with a little mixture here. There we go. Now I'm not adding any yeast to this. Yeast can cause yeast infection. So for those who are vegans and highly cautious of what they eat, you don't have to use yeast. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add a little bit of water into this mixture right here. Then I'm going to start kneading. It's very simple. Now I got to get my hands in there. Now this is the fun part. I love doing this. You want to make sure you don't put too much water. Depends on how much flour you're going to be using for the mixture, for the dough. I'm going to just pour this out over the counter so you can see what I'm doing. Out of the way. Now here we are. And for those who are familiar with sun-baked food, you can also bake these grains in the sun. You know, make sure that the sun is at its highest point. Wow, there's so much to learn when you're doing raw foods, you know. So much to share. People can learn from all walks of life how to live right, how to live healthy, nutritious. It's also good for the children, you know. Save you a whole lot of money from Dr. Bills, trust me. Save you a whole lot of money from Dr. Bills. You know. So there we go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just damp my hand a little. And I'm just going to gather this together. Just to make sure that I got most of my dough here Can't let nothing go to waste. So we gotta share this knowledge with our people. I'm gonna dab my hands again while I do this little dough.
For more information, look up Dr. Sebi.
So there we go. There's so much knowledge we have to share with you, but wow, if I gotta start speaking, wow, I'm gonna never stop. So there we go. You can see my dough is ready here. I'm gonna just roll it out. There we go. Now this is the dough that prepared this bread. Okay, this is yeast free, baking powder free, for those who do not want to add anything. And out of this is what I have. My raw flour here that I'm going to be putting in the oven right now to bake for you. And then when I'm done with baking this little dough right here, we're going to get to the next segment of the raw food pizza. So stay tuned with us, don't go anywhere, you're going to love it. Okay, here we have rye and spelt bread with a little fennel seeds in between. Here we have the same thing, the same dough, but the only difference is this one is what we're going to use for making the pizza crust. And this here is the dough that I just made for you. That is just rye and spelt with water, a little bit of sea salt, and some olive oil. You can also add some maple syrup to it and some agave syrup. And we say sugar is strictly forbidden, no sugars to the body. You want to use agave syrup or maple syrup. They're very rich in iron and calcium. This is very rich in calcium and iron. And you have the agave. And you want to make sure this is the substitute of sweetening in your life. Sugar is a drug. You don't want to use sugar, trust me. It's very detrimental.
Don't forget, Cain killed Abel.
Right now they're making fuel from cane, so I think that's a good idea. They should make fuel out of cane and let us preserve Mother Nature. The maple syrup comes from the maple tree. Agave syrups come from the cactus in the deserts, the agave cactus. It's very nutritious, so here you go. You can also add this into the dough if you want a little texture of sweet. But for this
cane
occasion,
doesn't have a seed. It doesn't.
Cane is a hybrid. Now a lot of these hybrid foods were genetically engineered in Portugal.
And it's the #1 black man killer. Sugar.
You're hitting them hard, you ain't going easy. Wow, we just got to get to the point. So.
But they brought us over here to slave us with it too.
Exactly, and they never brought our foods from Africa with us. So what we need to do, we need to educate ourselves, nourish our minds in order to gain back our population. And our food can nourish anyone from any walk of life. Save yourself, eat right. So here we go. I'm going to put my pizza crust in the oven. It's going to about 2.5 to 4 minutes. It's going to stay baking. And then when this is over, I'm going to be ready to show you what we're going to do with this whole raw food process. Stay tuned.
Greetings, and I'm here now to make the topping of the pizza. I started out with a sauce, or I call it a cheese for the pizza. I'm going to use walnuts, almonds, tomatoes, scallions, hot pepper, zucchini, and some sweet peppers. Could you pass me a knife?
Yeah,
I'm going to blend it. I'm going to put it in the blender. Put in my walnuts and almonds, peppers.
This is a very interesting dish. Wow, you wouldn't believe how tasty this will come out. This is going to be like the addition to this whole pizza. You're going to be amazed by the taste of this. This is very, very, very nutritious. So here we have a mixture of almonds, which is very rich in calcium. We have walnuts, very rich in calcium, also good for the kidneys, you know.
And these are the only two nuts that we use. These are the two alkaline nuts,
right.
Almonds and walnuts.
And walnuts.
Can I get some
Olive oil. You're going to need your cold pressed olive oil. Now you notice during the segments we have We've been using basic seasonings. It's very important to your liver. Olive oil is very good for your skin, very good for your hair. And you're going to need some sea salt again. Remember, 100% sea salt with iodine. Be careful with the salts without iodine. Iodine is natural.
Well, it's sea salt. It has everything in it. You don't have to worry about that. And I'm gonna chop. I'm gonna top it.
Now this is very beautiful. This, wow. Let's look at the richness and the texture of this mix. I mean, you know, it's all raw, uncooked, very nutritious, well seasoned, very rich in iron, very rich in calcium. Wow, you couldn't ask for a better raw food dish than this. Now this is for those who love pizza. The children is going to love this. Your whole family can come together and enjoy a nice vegetarian meal. So in Precises, you can continue and demonstrate what you have. But stay tuned. We're going to show you the next thing that is going to go on top of this to really top this off and give you the bang that you need. So stay tuned.
Mr. Blessed Love, you know, Rastafari living with that wall shit. M16, no you shouldn't bust the Glock magazine. You don't know what life really mean when you spoil up the youth's them dreams. I'ma tell them, say, hey, good boy, I know that you don't know what life is worth.
We're putting the paste on.
That's lovely. I'm ready to stick my teeth inside of some of that right now.
Are you gonna give them a freestyle still?
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah.
I have to?
You should.
Alright. That just give you a little taste of what I really do professionally. Yo, me got some vital food in my kitchen. Red, gold and green sipping. Electronic foods just got me living. You know see it. Vital food feel life. It keeps me alive. How you love that, man? Tell me how you love the music, man. So right now it's straight kitchen work, you know? So what else are we going to have here now?
This is going to be the topping of the pizza.
Yeah.
We're going to have some zucchini, some yellow squash.
Now, red, gold and green. You see, so we eat red, gold and green every day.
Tomatoes.
Wow.
The sweet peppers.
Life is color, you know? Life is color. Mushrooms. And sun-dried tomatoes. Wow.
So, we don't need pepperoni. Basil.
Black olives. My favorite. That's my favorite. There we got cilantro and parsley.
Scallions.
Wow. And what is that? What we have here?
Capers.
Wow. Capers. Organic capers.
Some olive oil again.
There we go. Cold pressed olive oil. I know you're going to be needing some sea salt. Definitely.
Some sea salt.
You're not ever leaving out your kelp. Kelp is like the #1 banging season all you can ever have in the kitchen. Wow.
But actually, King, I have some made already.
Wow.
So. But we put in the cayenne pepper. We did the basic seasonings.
Don't ever forget your cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is very nourishing to the body. It helps clean toxins from the lungs, you know.
that's our topping.
Wow, well, that look tasty. I mean, you can look at this, right? I mean, look at this presentation. This is just, wow, marvelous. This is just healing. I mean, so much raw foods can do for you, you know. You're also gonna want to separate these two. Give them a little space out, yeah. Wow, this looks delicious, doesn't it? So what would you call this pizza? What would you call this dish? If you had to name this dish right now, what would you name it?
Would I name it?
Yeah.
Pepperoni and mushroom pizza. No, it's a vegetable.
It's a vegan pizza.
It's a vegan.
Yeah.
But what we would name it? Give it a name.
Okay.
Garden pizza?
I would have to call this the all-season garden
This
pizza.
is the cheese, but this is butternut squash. You grate it.
That's interesting. Wow.
And then top it again. It's,
Wow.
you ready to taste?
So yeah, here we go. My personal pan pizza, raw, very nutritious, very balanced. We also have our rye and spell bread, you know. And wow, we're gonna have a nice feast right now. So I'm about to invite some of my yeah, you know, I'm having fun right now. Brethren and sisters, those who are here right now, they just come through and just full join the segment with us. And let's have
Every
fun.
time they're like,
You're all
they
excited
can't
about
wait to
this,
reach.
you know?
Come on.
When you see great food like this, you just have to come and get some. Yeah, that's all good. So
A junior lion tell them say, black woman you are so. Black woman you're the fruit of the earth. Looking good in your dress and in your blouse and skirt. Are you the Rastafari deserve? Originally your Sanders and head wrap up in a
So Junior, how do you feel eating raw food? You know, friends, family? How do I feel? I feel like I'm accomplishing something great on earth. I feel like I'm healing people naturally and saving them a whole lot of doctor bills. And I'm very grateful to life for giving me the strength and the courage to really showcase this kind of living to friends and family, brethren and sisters. I'm very up for it. Very, very up for it. I mean, you know, it was passed on to me and I don't think I should keep it for myself. I think the whole world needs to know about this way of eating. You know, we save a whole lot more. We live longer. So the gift of life is life itself. Food. Empress, how long have you been involved and what was your experience?
I've been involved since 2003. The reason, I first heard about Dr. Sebi 2002, and I met with him in 2003. My grandfather was sick, and I took a trip to LA to find out how to heal him. But on my trip, my grandfather passed. But when I met with Dr. Sebi, he said that he'd been to St. Martin and he stayed in Rambo, and that's where my grandfather was. So I was like, well, this must be a sign. And it made sense to me. Food over 7 is life. Everything over 7 is life. So I was in that and I stuck to it, and I'm joyful, energetic. I'm 36 and people tell me I look like 24, sometimes 20. So So I'm
You're my
loving
one and only, and ain't no doubt about that. The way you hug and squeeze me, I can't stop thinking of you. The way your touch caresses me across my body, that is how I know your love is purity. You're my anchor of life, blessed to have you as my wife. The one who is my pain away from war and strife. You're my gift from birth, you are the fruit of the earth. Who make the player boy, them simply back up and splurt. It's so overwhelming, the kind of love that we be sharing. It's a joy to feel so sacred, love that is so everlasting. Though sometimes I'm tempted, I reflect that our life is sacred. I gotta be honest because I know that you are blessed. So to be accepted, I have to make you feel respected. Never
Forward right now, give thanks for tuning in to Tranquility Roots and Culture Wellness Center. Now, here is something interesting we have for you all today. It just gets more interesting. Now, I know a lot of people out there just love stuffed foods, no? Yeah, we stuff the peppers, stuff. But right now we're going to be stuffing. So, what we have?
We're going to leave the crabs alone.
Yeah, leave the scavengers alone. No lobsters, no crabs, strictly herbs. Basic herbs. We're not getting complicated, just basic herbs to start your day with the right mineral and the right balance that you need. What do you have to offer today, Empress?
I have, I'm going to be stuffing tomatoes and peppers.
Wow.
I'm going to be stuffing them with butternut squash, some mushrooms, almonds, walnuts, sweet peppers, red and green. I'm going to put a little of olive and some hot pepper.
Caliente.
Yes. And some scallions. You know how much is the pH of a scallion? 7.5.
Wow. 7.5.
Yes. Can you pass me a knife?
Sure, I can pass the knife. There you go.
Okay. I'm going to be blending these ingredients. So I'm going to take out the seeds. Seeds is life.
You plant that right back in your backyard somewhere. Couple months, 3 months time, you get yourself a nice squash in your backyard. You know, always look for seed foods, no seedless foods. Wow, we're gonna have such a great dish here today. Stuffed vegetables, raw stuffed vegetables. And you know, for those who who likes grilling, you can also, you know, barely pass the tomato on the grill to get a nice little texture. Also the pepper. Turns out it enhances the flavor in the food, but you want to make sure that the stuffing that you're going to have inside is raw.
I don't want to give the blender too much of work, so I'll
okay.
cut it off.
So there, Isis is cutting up the squash, the butternut squash, into the blender, getting ready to start blending. And what else are you going to be having there? So while she's doing that, I'm going to be here grating the zucchini and the yellow squash. Don't want to grate them too thin, so I'm just going to use this part of the grater. And remember, your food must be always alkaline. It's very good for the bloodstream. It's very good for the eyes, your bones, your hair. Very nourishing to the body and for longevity. Save you a whole lot of doctor fees. Always remember, all these bills, wow, we could really cut down on those bills, you know, just by eating right. It also helps our thought pattern and helps us to be able to create and look forward in life.
So you was mentioning something about garlic. Why?
Yeah,
Why must we eat garlic?
Garlic is very high in folic acid. It's very high in cyanide. Garlic is a toxic poison.
It kills the man's brain.
Exactly, which is a thin layer of your skin. It dries you out.
It makes you forget.
Loss of memory.
So no more garlic.
Makes you impotent.
Scallions. Oops. Some olive oil. Can you pass me the olive oil? And the sea salt.
It's fun doing food once you know what you're doing. And remember, this is just simple
kelp.
herbs that we're demonstrating here. And there's advanced raw foods where you're going to have sun-cooked foods in the sun, but we're not there yet. I'm going to show you all about that in the next episode.
And I think I should add a little bit of water to this.
Okay. So there we go. We have some grated zucchini and grated squash. And always clean up behind yourself. You don't want to leave a mess. Always. There we have grated squash, grated zucchini.
Actually, I
Salad.
have the paste right here when it comes out of the blender.
So what you gonna do here, right?
Oh, I'm gonna stuff the tomato. Good thing I didn't finish blend, because this part of the tomato also goes into the stuffing. Can I get a spoon?
Sure. There you go. And you want to make sure you get as much of the tomato inside as possible, so you can just have a little thin layer of the skin, which is basically to hold what we're going to put in it, as well as you're going to do the same for the peppers when it's time. So what you want to do, you want to make sure you get the ridge of the pepper right here. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull out from the heart of the pepper, and I have the seeds, so I can just go in my backyard and plant this. Then I'm going to clean it out a little. There we go. So now here is our mixture. All that you have seen in the blender, this is what we have gathered here. And that is our stuffing, that is our meat. And remember, it's not meat, it's not animal, it's strictly herbs. Basic herbs from the garden.
I'm going to garnish this with some kelp. Some basil. As my cameraman said, Amara will do BAM! Some cayenne.
You don't want to put too much of that. We also have this. You can also put some olives with it, 2 slices of avocado if you want, if you wish to. You can always decorate the food how you want, how you visualize it. It's all about creation. You want to be creative with what you're preparing.
Can you cut a line for me? This is some butternut squash grated. I'm gonna add it to the zucchini and the other squash.
And the easiest part about these meals is that they're not greasy. It's easy to wash up after yourself and put away. And that's the joy about it. You know, no more greasy dishes. Say goodbye to greasy dishes. There you go. All clean, all ready to go again.
This is a coleslaw. No more cabbage. Cabbage is a hybrid.
Hybrid foods. Hybrid foods. No purple, no green, no white, no camouflage, no cauliflower. All those are hybrid. And it's a whole long list. You know, there's a lot of wild foods that you can purchase. You can get, you know, like the dandelion. You got burdock. You got, what else we have on the wild food, man? We have amaranth, which is callaloo. Wow. It's a whole lot of food. Whole lot of food. Now the lamb is going to serve as a salad dressing, natural, with the olive oil.
I think you should squeeze the lime. You're better at that.
Okay. So there you go.
Basic seasonings, to taste, sea salt to taste, a little bit of cayenne. If you're a spicy person, you can put some more. I'm going to put some scallions.
Some dill.
I'm going to put some dill. Dill just boosts any salad.
There you go.
I like fennel too, but dill boosts the salad. Dill is a salad booster.
So we're going to have stuffed lettuce, stuffed tomato, stuffed green pepper. So your food is actually serving as a bowl as you eat. And if you feel you got the heart, you take a bite out of the natural raw food. It's very good for you. Stretches the teeth. Strawberry serves as a decoration as well as a fruit garnish flavor. Nice. Keep the balance right there. You have a nice presentation of the raw food meal right here. Live well, eat well. Wow.
Who said you couldn't have fun with raw foods?
So much to do with raw foods. I mean, raw food happens to be one of the most ancient way of living, one of the most ancient way of healing oneself from any disease or any ailment known to man. Just by what we put in our system. You know? And alkalinity is so rich. Alkaline is so important to our life because it's actually serving as a magnet. The body is electrical, like carbon and copper, and our body is carbon. You know, our brain is copper. So we create this magnetic, this electrical field going on inside of ourselves. So in order to nourish and boost that, we have to eat the foods that generate electricity. And here we go. We have natural electric biomineral food for the carbon structure of the human body. So here we go. This is another demonstration of raw stuffed food. And as for those who like a little grill, they can also put the tomato, the green pepper on the grill. Just get a little, not too much, just a little heated, and it kind of brings out the flavor from within, and it goes right into the stuffed food.
If you have avocados, you could do the same stuffing with avocado, and
Yes.
you could garnish your food with avocado also.
Yes.
So stay tuned, get the next DVD, because we're doing desserts, something sweet.
After those meals, we got something coming.
Empress, amiga, you know. For the Empress, them, you know. The black woman are the fruit of the earth. And everything that is divine and pure. Junior Lion tell them to keep themselves secure. And Junior Lion tell them say, black woman you are so. Black woman you're the fruit of the earth. Looking good in your dress and in your blouse and skirt. Are you the Rastafari deserve? Originally your sandals and head wrap up in a turf. Black woman you're the fruit of the earth. You know just how to keep your foot and voice not always hurt.